In our next news, the Nigeria Labour Congress has dissolved the National Convention that had reinstated Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party and his National Working Committee following the adoption of a vote of no confidence on the results of the National Convention on March 27th, which re-elected Abure as chairman. The NLC made this announcement in a statement released following its meeting with stakeholders for the Political Commission in Abuja.
Well, stakeholders stated that in order to cover the void, the Congress will form a transition committee to manage party operations until new officers are chosen in 3 months. In response, the Labour Party argued that the national chairman of the Abure-led National Working Committee could not be removed by the Nigeria Labour Congress Political Commission. Joining us is Labour Party Chieftain Salako, who's here with us live in the studios, and we want to go straight into this conversation looking at our time. But let's see how quick we can be with this one. There seems to be a major problem happening in the Labour Party right now. The NLC, the Labour Party going at loggerheads. What does this prove? Is there going to be a future for the party?
Oh yeah, I mean, these are indications that the Labour Party is doing something right somewhere, or is like I do say, it is the only opposition party, and I'll say that confidently because the interest, the way everybody is interested in the Labour Party, the NLC wants the Labour Party to to function well. Even the people that are not part of Labour Party, they still want the best for Labour Party, and it's fine. It's all well and good. So first of all, it's keeping the name of the party out there and putting it on the people's lips, and then it keeps putting it out there so people know that the Labour Party has come to stay. But then the issue of the NLC, there are ways to go about things. The NLC, we cannot deny the fact that the NLC was the founding structure for the Labour Party, right? And this was done in 2002. But you see, we are Nigerians, and we cannot say that because the British colonized us and gave us independence in 1960. So if we have issues now, the British government should just come to Nigeria and say, oh, the election was not right, and then for that, we'll remove your president, it doesn't make any sense. This is an independent party, right? And for the party to function, yes, the constitution of the party gave room for not just NLC and TUC in some instances to function. And I can tell you categorically, in the constitution of the party, when you have, say for example, the board of trustees, it is listed there, former presidents, of the party that are still members of the party, former House of Rep members that are still members of the party, former this, former that, and the list went on. And maybe like the second to the last part of it, you see, and NLC and TUC representatives. So when you now, as just one entity, in the midst of a whole lot of other people that are supposed to constitute the board of trustees, can just go in one way and take a decision on behalf of an existing party. What are we doing? I mean, unless you're saying that the party itself, is just going to be controlled by the NLC. And let me also put something out there. The NLC is not just the Labour Congress. It has so many affiliates bodies. NUPENG is under NLC. Nigeria Union of Teachers is under NLC. A couple of other, so many, about 40 other unions like that under the NLC. The reality of it is that all of these people are not, they cannot belong to a particular political party. You can't tell me that everybody in NLC is a Labour Party member. It is not possible. You can't tell me everybody in the Nigerian Union of Teachers they are all Labour Party members. No.
Okay.
The NLC is is a labor congress. The party is a party, a political party. These are two different entities.
All right. So if the crux of the matter now is that the NLC should not meddle with the affairs of the Labour Party, do you agree with the position of the NLC, disowning this convention? Because the NLC is not the only one that's spoken against this convention. INEC has disowned this convention, stating that it did not follow due process. So what is the current position regarding that convention? Did it hold? Did it not hold? While Labour Party is saying that it holds, Labour Party by itself cannot validate the convention. It needs INEC, but INEC has disowned it.
Well, so these are all internal issues of the party. If the NLC wants to resolve this issue, they should come into the party first, because you have to first of all be a member of the party. You have to be literally a Nigerian for you to have a say in, a formidable say in the Nigerian affairs. So they should come into the party. The convention, the authenticity of the convention, right, will still be determined by the party at the end of the day, because we are the stakeholders. We are the ones that want to say, oh yes, this is our convention, or this is not our convention. Nobody is going to hold convention for us on behalf of the party. So INEC was duly informed of the convention. There are people in the party that are not, of course, that will always not, seem to flow with everything that is going on in the party. But that does not mean that you just wake up one day and say that you are going to destroy the fabric of an existing party of its own, an independent party. So we know that there are issues here. There are counter issues on the convention. There are people that are saying, oh yeah, it is legitimate. There are people that are saying it is not legitimate, but it is a problem of the party. The party will find its way and resolve it. The NLC has no right to Labour Party, to own Labour Party solely. No. It has gone beyond them. It's like some people create business, personal business. It gets to a point, it becomes a conglomerate, and it is now beyond the person who creates that business. There has been instances where the owner, I'm talking of personal business, that the founder, the owner, becomes relegated. Sometimes they even lose the business because the business has gone beyond them. The same way this is. If NLC, yes, was at the forefront of the creation of Labour Party in 2002, when it was even created as a social party for democracy, SPD, before it was changed in 2003. If NLC was at the forefront at the time, it does not mean that they own the party. It does not mean that they have the right to determine the leadership of the party. It's not done. The best way to do anything is to have different congresses. Congress at the local, at the world level, at the local level, at the state level, and at the national level. And this is what the party, the Abure-led committee, is working towards. Let's not forget that this whole thing about Labour Party started in 2002 when, in person of Mr. Peter Obi came to Labour Party. Because before then, even some of us were not looking at the Labour Party. But somebody pushed this force, and we are all here now. And so it's up till now, it's still there is a lot of inconsistencies around the party, because too many people came together at the same time. And unfortunately, the man who brought all of us together, right, is not the one to determine what happens really at the party level. He has his influence, he has his, because he is a leader in the party. But then he cannot just in isolation determines what will go on or what will happen on the party. And so we know that when different people just come together, the rush was too much. So we would have all these differences and disagreements. Right. But the fact is that the party is going to get its bearing and will get it right.
Okay. Just a few days ago, we did have the spokesperson for Obidati campaign, Mr. Tanko, sit exactly where you're seated. And he was asked if there's a possibility that presidential candidate for 2023 Mr. Peter Obi, could leave the party. And he did say that if the party doesn't get its acts right, it could happen. So my question to you is there any worry that's coming from stakeholders, I mean, like a Chieftain and others? Is there any scare that this could end up breaking the party completely, and that will see Peter Obi move to another party? Because the chances that you do have, you can agree with me, is as a result of the fact that you do have someone like a Peter Obi.
Well, I mean, it's a fact. Nobody will shy away from the fact that Peter Obi is like the front runner of the party, as it were, and the face of the party right now. And yes, the internal crisis, there is a point at which it can linger on to, and then it probably just breaks, and then everybody would find their bearing if we don't get it right internally. We cannot shy away from that fact, But of course, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi himself has said that he's not leaving the Labour Party. He is still with the Labour Party as it is right now, and I am almost sure that it's just going to be, a case of it's just time. And within a very short time, things will come back to the way it's been. Whether we like it or not, the reality is that Mr. Abure cannot remain the party chairman forever. There is going to come a point where we would have to have a proper Congress, and if he is returned, fine. If he's not returned, somebody else will take the leadership of the party and will steer it in the right way. So, it will be a major concern if Mr. Peter Obi leaves the Labour Party, no doubt about that. But I am sure that the Labour Party itself, the National Working Committee, would do everything to retain Mr. Peter Obi in Labour Party, and then, of course, get the party right.
I mean, my final question to you would be, how do you think this would affect the trust that the obedient, in quotes, have put into the party, seeing that the house that they are, seriously supporting, the house is being divided, is being broken? Do you think that will give any chance to the Labour Party in the forthcoming elections in 2027?
It's funny.
Because the house they support is like you're supporting a house and everybody there is bickering, fighting at each other. They say, put your money where your mouth is. You think they really would like to put their money?
So this is it, right? Again, the Labour Party right now is, a combination of a whole lot of bodies and, personalities, right? So there is the Labour Party. Even as we speak right now, there still is the obedient movement, right? Sometimes when we are in party meetings, you hear some of the, Labour Party, they say, those obedient people, they are doing this, they are doing that. So this is the Labour Party, members referring to the obedience. So it's almost like two different entities. The obedients are literally Obi followers. They are not, you see, so they are in support of the Labour Party because Peter Obi is in the Labour Party. So obedient is not really disappointed in Labour Party. Obedient will be disappointed in Peter Obi if he does anything wrong, right? So as long as Mr. Peter Obi is retained in the party, all the party shenanigans does not really concern the obedience to a large extent. Sometimes you get to see some of their tweets and then they write that they post Peter Obi's picture and say, this is our party. And that says a lot, right? So I don't think all this drama in the Labour Party, yes, as it's affecting, it may give some sort of concern to them that these people is like, you guys are not getting yourselves right. But then it does not necessarily mean that it's a deep worry for them, at that level. The Labour Party is the Labour Party, and we will get it.
Well, good thing that Peter Obi has addressed the fears of him leaving the party, saying that he's not leaving the party. He has no plans to leave the party.
No, guy is not going anywhere.
Okay, very quickly. My final question will be about the transition committee that is allegedly being set up. We hear that the announcement will be done after the Eid al-Fitr holidays. Talk to us about that.
Well, I mean, it's still the legitimacy of it. It's all about the legitimacy of it. See, today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. Today. Because why? He went into the election So we always sit here, we will fight that election, we will say a lot of things about the election, but then it is said that he won the election. He was taken to court, and the court gave him the right to continue his presidency. He is the legitimate president of Nigeria. Same way when looking at this issue, you cannot sit somewhere and form a, whatever committee you're forming and say that they should just go and take over. Who are you? Who are you? What to what end? It is the legitimacy. The question is about the legitimacy of what they are doing. How legitimate is it? As it is now, the courts, as we're all aware, has pronounced that Mr. Julius Abure is the chairman of the Labour Party. So if they push this too much, it will still go back to court. And whatever comes out of it will determine the legitimacy of what they are doing or what the party is doing.
Professor Salako, it's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining us. And we wish the Labour Party a peaceful and an amicable resolution of all the internal disagreements going on.
We'll get over it. Some parties have seen worse. I mean, we are just starting.
Hopefully you find the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know if the Labour Party is Band A or Band B.
Anyway.
We are Band A.
Okay.